AT&T stopped selling location data of Americans to bounty hunters. This is by Tyler Durden on Zero Hedge. I never even knew they were doing that. Unbelievable. After Motherboard gave a bounty hunter a phone number and a few $100, their contact responded with a screenshot of Google Maps containing a highlighted circle indicating the phone's exact location. Motherboard then released a report on Tuesday showing how T-Mobile, Sprint, and AT&T are selling their customers' location data, and some of that data was ended up in the hands of bounty hunters and unauthorized people, letting them track virtually any phone in the United States. In a swift response to the report, several senators requested the Federal Communications Commission, the FCC, to investigate and demanded greater oversight and regulation of the telecommunications industry. On Thursday, AT&T released a statement indicating that it is halting the sale of all location data to so-called location aggregators, firms that sit in the supply chain between the telcos and clients. Some companies use the location data service for legitimate purposes, such as roadside assistance to find stranded customers or financial companies to detect fraud, but according to AT&T's statement Thursday, quote, all location aggression services will be cut off, end quote. In Motherboard's report, the smartphone they located was using the T-Mobile network. For Motherboard staff to receive the location, the data traveled through a complex system of companies, starting with T-Mobile, before going to a location aggregator called Zumigo. Zumigo then sold it to a firm called Microbuilt, which provides access to a variety of industries, including bounty hunters. The bounty hunter then sold it to a source, and that source finally sold it to Motherboard. After the release of Motherboard's investigation, T-Mobile CEO John Legere tweeted that his company is also going to cut off all location aggregators. Verizon said in a statement Thursday that it too will eliminate the service. Sprint has so far not released any comments on this issue. The announcement from major telcos reflects a significant victory for privacy advocates who have sounded the alarm that corporate America has mishandled consumers' data, often to sell it off for economic gain. Carriers, quote, carriers are always responsible for who ends up with their customers' data. That's not enough to lay the blame for misuse on downstream companies, end quote, says Senator Ron Wyden, Democrat from Oregon, in a statement. Quote, the time for taking these companies at their word is long past. Congress needs to pass some strong legislation to protect Americans' privacy, and finally hold corporations accountable when they put your safety at risk by letting stalkers and criminals track your phone on the dark web, end quote. Other critics said consumers have an absolute right to the privacy of their data. Quote, I'm extraordinarily troubled by reports of the system of repackaging and reselling local data to unregulated third-party services for potentially nefarious purposes, end quote, said Kamala Harris, Democrat from California. Quote, if true, this practice represents a legitimate threat to our personal and national security, end quote. Harris demanded that the FCC immediately open an investigation. FCC Commissioner Jessica Rosenworcel tweeted Thursday, the FCC needs to immediately investigate reports of the system of repackaging and reselling location data to unregulated third-party services and take the necessary steps to protect Americans' privacy. In another tweet, Rosenworcel added, quote, it should not be that you pay a few $100s to a bounty hunter and then they can tell you in real time where a phone is within a few hundred meters. That's not right. This entire ecosystem needs oversight, end quote. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.